Both Microsoft and Bethesda had a lot riding on their showcase this summer. Between Microsoft's spending frenzy to acquire some of the hottest developers on the planet, which included Bethesda, as well as the incredibly unwelcome news that Bethesda's most anticipated release, Starfield, was delayed to 2023, the show that they were going to put on needed to be the gaming equivalent of a grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, and a half-court buzzer beater all rolled into one.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Fortunately for Microsoft, the event seemed to live up to the hype. It produced exceptional moments like genius gaming creator Hideo Kojima shocking the world with the revelation that he is developing an exclusive title for the Xbox. There is incredible announcements about the future of Forza and other core Xbox titles, and even Halo integration into games like Microsoft Flight Simulator, where you could fly the Pelican, or Fall Guys, where you could become Master Chief as a being.
Hey, you know you loved it.
We did get all of those.
We did get all of them. We were the first ones there, let me tell you. But it was the actual gameplay reveal for Starfield, Bethesda's next major franchise release, that carried the most pressure leading up to the show. Did they deliver? From our perspective, it was a resounding yes.
Absolutely. I mean, the wait to explore the galaxy and beyond may have gotten a bit longer, but with the announcement that this game is going to feature 100 solar systems with a total of 1,000 planets.
My brain can't even comprehend.
It's going to take a minute to complete. Now, will these planets be procedurally generated, like, No Man's Sky, which is basically a rival space exploration title? Or will they be large, handcrafted, but ultimately lifeless, empty spaces like most of the wasteland that was in the most recent Fallout game? I mean, we don't have those answers yet, and we may not for quite a while, but at least we have a little better idea about why this incredibly ambitious title won't be hitting our store shelves this year. It's because it's going to be far bigger than any of us had anticipated. The developers of Starfield have made a very difficult and incredibly unpopular decision to delay their game rather than compromise their vision for it. And while this didn't exactly endear them to their new bosses at Microsoft or the gaming world at large, it was clearly the right call.
From the massively complex amount of ship options to a storyline that will have to incorporate the massive amounts of player choice and dialogue options that Bethesda's titles are known for, there is simply no room for allowing the options or even the demands of others to influence them to do this on a different timeline, with different priorities, or in a different manner than what makes a Bethesda game a Bethesda game.
And one of the largest challenges in making any video game is the pressure to meet the expectations of many different people. The press, the publisher, the public, so many more. And as developers attempt to meet the desires and requirements of each of these distinct audiences while still remaining true to their original vision of the game, the pressure to compromise slowly begins to seep in. Features are cut to meet budget demands. Shortcuts are accepted to make specific timelines realistic. And next thing we know, the incredible promise of a game with massive potential is reduced to a collection of bugs and glitches that meant well, but were fatally flawed due to the compromises that were made.
Expectations exist inside our faith, outside of our faith, and even within ourselves that can allow us to drift into a state of compromise in order to achieve our goals. But the end never justifies the means in the Lord's eyes. There's only His way, His time, and His message. And if we are going to present something to Him that requires compromise to achieve, He would rather, not have it at all.
Now, the missions that we've been chosen for in this life are specific and important, but the Lord designed our path in a manner that will require us to lean on Him and His provision throughout that journey. Perhaps we don't plan to make burnt offerings in a manner that will offend Him. That's a very Old Testament reference. I mean, the reality is, pretty sure that'd be in violation of most of our rental agreements or HOA guidelines. You'd probably get kicked out. But compromise comes to us in many forms, luring us in with the promise of success without all the discomfort associated with obedience. Less waiting, less pain, less awkwardness, all for the low, low price of completely undermining the purpose of our faith in the first place.
As a matter of fact, when Christ was tempted by Satan in the wilderness, He wasn't asked to stop His mission. He was offered a path of compromising His path, the shortcut past the pain.
Compromise comes to us in a variety of ways, but they all serve the same purpose. They disconnect us from our master in the disguise of completing our mission. Now, perhaps these shortcuts involve compromises for the sake of faster growth, a larger degree of popularity. Maybe they increase our feelings of self-sufficiency, or they just simply increase our comfort.
Our enemy isn't always going to try to get us into a state of abandoning our faith in God. He will often try the more subtle approach of introducing enough pressure to tempt us to a path of compromise in order to achieve our well-meaning goals, disconnecting us from the very source of our power and ultimately rendering our actions meaningless.
Bethesda was purchased by Microsoft for a reason. They make iconic games that many of us are still playing decades after their release. Some of them we purchased on multiple platforms and played them over and over and over again. I'm pretty sure Skyrim's been released on everything from an Xbox 360 to a graphing calculator at this point. And in order to connect with their audiences in the manner that they've done so successfully over the years, they've chosen to remain focused on their North Star, delivering the Starfield experience that we're all expecting. And they're going to do exactly that, even if it comes many months later than we planned on. If it releases on a different console than the one we currently own, and it's developed using different design methods than we would have preferred.
The pressure to be everything to everyone is overwhelming in any arena, but compromising the mission by using an unapproved method will only result in offering the Lord strange fire that He cannot accept. Fortunately for us, Bethesda is showing the restraint that we all need to demonstrate in our service to the Lord, a message of boundless grace delivered without compromising the process of receiving it.
It may take longer to do things the Lord's way. That's okay. The path He placed us on may not be littered with praise and popularity. Neither was His. Achieving the mission His way may mean we miss the deadlines we planned to hit. It may lead us to places we wouldn't have chosen, and it may feel more difficult and painful than it needed to be. But it's only through refusing the shortcuts and denying ourselves the path of least resistance that we will reach the fullness of the vision that He has for us and deliver an uncompromised Starfield worth waiting for.